Well, right now I'm more concerned about Isaiah Wong, who sprained his ankle at the end of the game, than I am about the game. The game's over. Wake Forest earned the victory. We obviously are very beat up and don't have a lot of weapons right now. So I was proud of the effort we gave in the second half. I thought we did some good things to kind of put ourselves in a position to go on a run, but just don't have enough offense to complete the plays.
And our first question will come from Michelle Kaufman.
Hey, Coach, I know it's just still early, but what do you know about Isaiah's injury? And, with only 6 players, if you were down to 5 players, how would you be able to compete without having him in there? He's such an integral part of your team.
Well, I don't want to predict anything right now. We don't know how bad his ankle is. We'll wait and see how he responds to treatment. He's in the locker room now getting treatment. He has sprained it before and recovered pretty quickly. The difference is we were at home then. You go on an airplane, everybody's feet swell. So I'll be very, very concerned about any swelling that gets in there. So I can't give you any more information than that.
Can I ask also follow-up? I want to ask about Deng Gak. It was his first time starting since 2018. Can you talk about the performance that he did and your decision to start him?
Well, actually, Deng's the only player on our team who hasn't started. Mm-hmm. So we gave him an opportunity. He's been playing more minutes and playing better. He gives us a rim protector. He can block some shots and get some defensive rebounds. He's also a good target for us to throw the ball to. If you, in the beginning of the game, we threw it to him and he'd get it to the guards. So I like the way he's playing right now.
Thank you.
And our next question will come from Chris Stock.
Yeah, Coach, you make 9 3-pointers, you shoot over 50% from 3, and I know that's been such an issue for you guys this year, but what do you see offensively? You guys don't score over 60 and come up short there.
Well, we can't get into a running game with anyone. We're so shorthanded. Guys were exhausted, trying to play as hard as they could, but, you get worn out. We have 6 scholarship players and Willie, a walk-on, who's in the rotation now. And it's really not even fair to him to expect him to contribute at the offensive end. Willie does a good job of giving effort at the defensive end. But we are so limited offensively. Nasir Brooks doesn't shoot the 3, hasn't scored much lately. And Gak, he did make 1 3 today, but our 3-point shooting today was a little bit better because Cam Auguste's back. And so he makes a couple of 3s early, and that gives Isaiah Wong then the thought, hey, we're shooting 3s well. Then Gak makes 1, and then all of a sudden we've got a number of different guys. Anthony Walker made 1 at the end. So it'd be very, very nice to be at full strength, but we know that's not going to happen. But we got to get ready for Monday night. We're playing on Big Monday on ESPN against Duke University, and they've been playing better these last couple of games, and they're always a threat to have a great game. They've got so many talented players.
Our next question will come from Steve Wine.
Jim, we all know you've got a good group of kids. How are they holding up emotionally when it just seems like you can't catch a break? It must be difficult.
I think it is, Steve, and it was especially difficult at halftime. We just couldn't get anything going offensively. And players tend to evaluate themselves on their offense, not on their defense. And at halftime, I told them, we gave up 9 threes. If we can focus better and defend them better, we'll play better offense. And I think we did that for a while. But again, as I said, we're not able to sustain anything, either defensively or offensively or rebounding the ball. I thought Wake Forest, they played the ball screens differently than anybody that we've played. And we had to make a bunch of adjustments in the first half, none of which worked. At halftime, the coaching staff met and I thought came up with some very good ideas. We told the team, hey, we haven't done some of these things for a very long time, but if we go back to what we were doing very early in the season, we think this will catch Wake Forest off guard because they had scouted us very well. They backed off the non-shooters. They doubled up on Isaiah and Cam, the really good shooters. And so it was more like a chess match. And in the second half, we came out and did a much better job of getting some pretty good looks at the basket. In fact, after every timeout, we got exactly the shot we planned. After every out of bounds under, we got the shot now we didn't make every one of those, but I think the guys felt much better about the execution and the selection of what plays to run.
We have time for a couple more questions. Next one coming from Chris Stock.
Yeah, just wanted to get a follow-up on Chris Likes. You last spoke about him on Sunday. Maybe it'd be a week or two, just any progress there. And then also with Elijah, he's missed the last couple games. Just kind of when did that injury happen? And your thoughts on maybe when he could return.
What's interesting is, we'll talk about Elijah first. His shoulder was bothering him after the Louisville game. I don't know how many games ago that was, but he kept playing through it. But eventually, this week, he went in for an MRI, and what they discovered is that he had an old injury that was starting to bother him, and that he just needed to treat it, get back as close to 100%, and then reevaluate it again. Do I think he's going to play again this season? Yes, I do. Will it be Monday? That I don't know. Chris Likes, on the other hand, has been out since I think December 2nd. It's now February, isn't it? Or no, today's January 30th, my son's birthday. But on Monday, it'll be the 1st of February. And, you know, that's 2 solid months without your best player, leading scorer, best three-point shooter. He's such an integral part of our program and has been for 4 years. And yet the progress on his sprained ankle has been very, very slow. And I know Chris is very anxious to get back on the court. Only time will tell when he'll get the green light to play again.
And our final question comes from Michelle Kaufman.
Coach, I want to ask you, because we haven't had a chance to talk to you since Matt Cross left the team, how difficult of a decision was that, or a conversation or whatever, considering, you know, all the struggles that your team is having? Just kind of, if you could just shed a little light on that.
Yeah, I think, and I believe Matt used this expression, you know, sometimes when you recruit someone who has a lot of the qualities you're looking for, and then they arrive on campus and things are going pretty well and you're really heading in the right direction. And then for one reason or another, it just got to the point where I felt like he probably needed to make a change. You know, I probably just was not the right coach for him. I have my own way of doing things, and I think you got to kind of buy into that approach. And if you don't, it probably makes you unhappy that you don't feel like you know, it's an ideal fit. So I just came to the conclusion the best thing would be for him to find someplace that, you know, he'd be happier at.